I completed my first GORUCK challenge this past weekend in Charlotte, North Carolina. We were class 707, and I wanted to take a video of deconstructing my ruck to show how I packed everything and what exactly I packed, and just do kind of a typical packing list and AAR all in one. So I have the GR1, which is the GORUCK bag, and it's a sweet pack. The things I had to add to the outside was a waist belt, which I took a waist belt off an existing pack, added some grommets from Lowe's, 550 cord to a couple small carabiners on the side molly. And the waist belt's important because it'll keep the pack up on your body when you're inverting your body. So if you're doing bear crawls or plank positions, putting your butt in there, then the natural tendency of the pack is going to be to slide off over your head. And this will help keep it secured to your waist at that time. Then I also added a chest strap, which I'm a fan of chest straps because in my time in the military, you figure out little tricks to keep your shoulders healthy while you're moving large amounts of weight. So just a simple click of this chest strap is going to distribute the weight from closer to your neck to further away off your shoulders, and that'll just give little muscles and little parts of your upper back and neck little breaks during the challenge when you're moving the heavy weights. So I'm a fan of the chest strap for that reason, and it also just keeps everything tight up against your body. For the hydration hose, I added a D-ring up top, and I think it was $1 at Lowe's, and just slid it on the molly, and that was to keep it secured near my neck. And then down low I added 550 cord, and I just tied a loop around the molly, and that was to keep the lower part of the hose in place up against my body. Without this, I saw some guys that didn't have it secured, and what happens is your hose will kind of just go wherever, and if you're low crawling and your hose is getting bent, some guys were losing pieces of the top and it was bending, and it's just much easier to keep everything close to your body during the challenge, so that came in handy. Next, we got some handholds on the side. I just put some carabiners on the side molly, and I read a lot about using those as handles during the challenge. I used them once or twice. I would put them on there for the next challenge just because you never know how much you're going to be carrying your pack off your back, so they come in handy. And one thing I don't have on my pack that I saw others with was they would have a quick draw that was attached to either side, and the webbing in between would have some sort of a rubber hose or maybe a PEX water tubing, something like that. And that looked like a beefy handhold to couple with the top handhold on top of the GR1. So next time I will remember that, and I'll go ahead and add that on. Next we'll go into my front diagonal pocket, which I had my gloves for easy access. I didn't think I was going to use them as much as I did. Once you start carrying heavy weights, your pride kind of goes out the window, and you'll put whatever you can on your hands to make sure you continue on with the challenge. And I had my snacks in my front pack. So this was a waterproof lock sack bag, and I bought a pack of 4 because they were cheaper and they looked like something I would want. But what happened was, as soon as my pack or my ruck got off my back and was flung around a few times, I believe that the seal just opened up, and we were in the creek first thing, so my snacks all got wet. And I had some honey stinger waffles and honey stinger blossoms in there, so they were individually packed, so they didn't really get altered by the water very much. But if you're thinking ahead, you want something waterproof because you don't know what's in those creeks and what's in the water that you're going to be in. And you definitely don't want that water coming in contact with food that you're about to eat, because you can get extremely sick from that. So next time I'll get something a little bit more sturdy and waterproof than the lock bags. Next, let's open the back. In this laptop pocket, the only thing I put in here was some bubble wrap. And originally it was just to keep my back a little bit more cushioned from the bricks. But what I ended up learning during the challenge was, at certain points you're not going to have the pack on your back. You're going to have it above your head doing exercises. So a little bit more cushion up here is helpful in cushioning your head if the pack's going to be resting on your head, or you're doing exercises and you're taking a little rest. Let's get into the inside of this pack. Alright. In this top pocket had another one of the waterproof bags, which I'll change out next time. And I had all the required items from GORUCK that is on the packing list: socks, money, my ID, my chapstick, and my headlamp. And then I also had some hydration tablets that I put in my camelback, and some electrolyte tablets. So again, next time I'll go for a more waterproof sack. I had my visor stored in the mesh pocket. I ended up not using it just because we were moving at night for the most part, so I wasn't sweating as much as I thought I would be. Alright, next we have the camelback, or the water reservoir, and the main tidbit on this was to keep it up high. You don't want it folding and getting scrunched at the bottom, because then the water won't come out the tube. So I've learned through the years that you want to just clip it to the top. I used a carabiner on some webbing up top, and you just want to make sure that it hangs vertically in your pack, and that way it's not folding over, your hose isn't getting pinched, things like that, because that will happen and you'll be stuck in the middle of the challenge without water. Now, this part's the meat and potatoes, just packing the bricks, and these are Maxwell Coffee House family containers. I just packed 2 of them. I coated them in duct tape once up around the lid just to make them waterproof. They're light, they're sturdy, and they really held the weight of the bricks up and against my back. So I will definitely use these again. Some guys use yoga blocks. I've heard of using the just empty bottles, 2-liter bottles, something like that. But I'll definitely use those. They're a perfect fit, and they're bomb-proof. They're so sturdy. So then to fill the side voids, I just took a noodle, swimming noodle, cut it in quarters, shaped it to fill the voids, and that was that. And now we have the bricks. For the bricks, the way I secured them was using 2 straps that I just got from REI for a couple of dollars a piece, and then a 3rd strap went across just to hold it down against the webbing. I threaded it through the molly in the back and just cinched it down. And the way that I wrapped my bricks was 1, 2, 3, 4 vertical, and then 5, 6 were horizontal. And the reason I did that was because through my research, everyone said the higher the weight and the closer to your back, the less back fatigue and lower back fatigue you're going to have during the course of the challenge. So that's why I did 4 up top and then 2 this way. It's a little bit of an irregular shape, but I think that that's the best way for me to pack it in my pack. And it also worked out real well because I had room for the containers down low to help prop up the bricks. So they were very stationary the whole time. They weren't moving around in my pack. I saw some guys that didn't have their bricks as secured, so they were probably sloshing around on the insides, which you don't want happening. And also I saw some guys that had packed around their bricks with towels or something else that would absorb water, which you don't want, because then you're just adding more weight. So when I actually wrapped the bricks, I wrapped these two, and these 2 in duct tape. Then I did 1 strip of duct tape each way just to hold the general shape together. Then I did a layer of the bubble wrap, similar to what I had in the back, and I doubled up the bubble wrap on the side that I knew would be up against my back. Then I did a row of horizontal duct tape, then vertical duct tape, and that was it. So overall, I'm very pleased with the way the bricks turned out and how the inner packing went. The only things I would change would be the waterproof sacks. I researched after the challenge and saw that Sea Line Baja sacks have really good reviews on Amazon, so I'm going to probably look into getting 1 or 2 of those. And then again, I'd probably add an additional handle on the front just to beef up another handhold in case I need it next time. So hopefully that's helpful to someone out there who's about to partake in the Adventure of GORUCK Challenge. And if you have any comments or suggestions or any questions, go ahead and leave them below, and I will do my best to answer them. So good luck if you have a challenge coming up. Thanks for watching.